Guys, we're going to talk about this big weekend's events, as well as, boy, I haven't been on since the Ryan Garcia Mario Vargas fight. So we're going to talk about the aftermath as well. We'll talk about a lot of rumblings all about nothing. We'll talk about Connor Ben's latest signing with a one fight deal with Netflix, that and much, much more on today's episode of War a Week Boxing.
Affordable Value presents Big Time Boxing USA on War a Week Radio.
Guys, welcome. Happy Friday to all of you guys. And I hope you guys had a great week. I haven't been with you guys since last Friday, so we have a lot to catch up on. Let's start with, what happened last Saturday night in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. And once again, guys, Ryan Garcia. I don't want to be one of those guys that likes to say I told you so, but yeah, I told you so. It's pretty easy. But once again, I had some insider information. I knew exactly what version of Mario Vargas we were going to see, a depleted one that, had been worked to the bone, almost overtrained, and with a terrible fight strategy. I had also found out that Mario Vargas had been sparring during fight week, which is pretty damn stupid. Guys, look, I love Master Joe Goosen, one of the most respected guys in boxing and a legitimate Hall of Famer. But his time in this business has come and gone. He is completely out of touch. And he's an old school dude that is going to have a very hard time getting his fighters to co-sign on his vision. And I hate to say this, but yeah, he needs to stick to commentary now. Because one, why the hell would you spar him during fight week? And it looked like he had nothing left in the ring on fight night. And from what I was told, he didn't get a chance to lose the weight in a healthy manner. So he came in depleted, having to lose 16 pounds in one day before the weigh-in. Yeah. So it was an absolute horror show for Mario. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Ryan Garcia, but what kind of stupid fight plan do you have? You're going to push the action, but your guy's just going to be taking shots because he doesn't know how to fight behind the high guard and be the effective aggressor. When have you ever seen Mario Vargas proficiently cut off the ring, close the distance? Never, because he's always enjoyed the height and reach advantage. And his bread and butter is from mid to long range, boxing you, turning you. He's never been one of those killers like we're going to see this weekend. Both Sugar Nunez and Emmanuel Navarrete, buckle up, guys. This is going to be straight fire if both men are still El Vaquero and Sugar. Both guys can crack. Both guys are tenacious. And I am looking for straight fire in the main and the co-main event. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let's stay on point. Let's stay on with Ryan, about Ryan and Mario. Outlaw, good to see you, my friend. And Daisy, yes, you've had this one circled on the calendar, and you should be nervous, a very good nervous. This is gonna be, we'll talk about this in a bit, Daisy, but thank you for joining us. Look, guys, once again, I don't want to take anything away from Ryan, but he was in there with a walking stiff. And and now, to add insult to injury, Mario Barrios is saying, you know what, I can't make 47 anymore. He's going to move up to 54. Get this. He genuinely believes he's going to be able to get the Errol Spence Jr. fight. I was like, dude, talk about delusions of grandeur. Son, you've never been a big ticket seller. The only reason why you've been getting these big time events is because you had something that everyone wanted and you were the perceived low hanging fruit. You turned into, for all intents and purposes, you turned into the Sean Porter at 47. This era's Sean Porter, where you're only good enough to maybe compete at the elite level, but you're not elite. And you're just someone at the elite level who competes there, who people can beat. That's why he was getting these assignments. And he had, without that major world title, without the WBC around his waist, forget it, son. You're not getting any of these big assignments. And when you move up to 54, you rattle off someone he can beat in the top 25. I'll wait. He's gonna get, like, think about this, guys. Like, he thinks he's gonna be able to move up to 54 and do something. Now, I love Mario and his family. I love his entire team. But this is delusion at its finest. He's got nothing for those killers at junior middleweight. I don't know who CTE is. Who is that? Can't be someone with a pulse. Guys, Erickson Lubin would kill him. Sergey Boachuk would kill him. Brandon Adams. Katsourakis. Just rattle them off, guys. Don't even mention Boots Ennis. No, I've gotten a mixed bag. The lowest number I've heard, though, is between 400 and 500,000. That's the one I tend to believe. I don't believe. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, Nico, that makes sense, brother. No, look, I've heard everywhere from 400 to 500,000 to over 1 million, and you know it's not over 1 million. That's absurd. Big hit, and I'm going to have a career best performance against Mario because of the dubious fight plan, and 2, he was overtrained. He had nothing left. Did you see how dry he came out? Yeah, did you see how dry Mario was when he walked in the ring? I was watching the fight with some of my fighters, and I said, look how dry he is. He's bone dry. You need to be coming in with a dead sweat, or you're going to get caught with something you don't see coming. You're going to get caught cold. And what happened within the first 30 seconds? He got caught cold. But Ryan, pendejo, he didn't put his foot. If he had put his foot to the gas and tried to get him out of there, he easily could within the first 3 rounds. But credit to him, I'll give him credit for this. He stuck to the fight plan. And he fought for the first time since I've been watching a very consistent fight. And he used his right hand. He used the jab, worked behind the jab beautifully, mixing in some left hooks, but predominantly sticking to the overhand right that couldn't miss. He could have easily gotten him out of there, but he chose to go the distance, pitching pretty much a shutout. So what's next for Ryan Garcia? If they don't, and this is a message to everyone involved, if they don't make Haney Garcia 2 for the unified welterweight championship of the world, I'll be flabbergasted. It's funny. Ryan Garcia's team, Henry, they said the same thing about Mario, that he lacks stamina. Look, Nico, that's the reason why they went the distance. They wanted him to go the rounds. That's all right, sister. It's no big deal. It's not like you're flying in from Japan like Hirioka, right? He's okay. He's going to be okay. He always is. Look, when you count Navarrete out, and like I said, we'll talk about this in just a bit. When you can't count El Vaquero out, that's when he surprises your ass. Once again, Sugar Nunez is a knockout artist. He's got 29 victories and 27 knockouts. But correct me if I'm wrong, Oscar Valdez too had a great knockout ratio going into their first fight. And what happened? Navarrete is not some, and I don't mean fighting out of the southpaw stance, but he can do that if he wants to. He is so unorthodox that you can't prepare for this guy in the gym. Look, if his chin is still El Vaquero, he's going to do just fine. Don't be shocked. Guys, El Vaquero you can't prepare for this guy. He is a weird fighter. Very strange, very unorthodox, and it's impossible. If you're used to seeing guys who just square up in front of you, well, think again, because this guy's going to touch you in very odd angles, and his volume is going to overwhelm you. If you're looking for just one shot in which to counter, well, best of luck to you. Unless his chin is not still El Vaquero. So I'll just say that, guys, I'm looking for the best fight of the year so far. This is going to be straight fire. If both guys are still the same, we are looking for a blockbuster. And that's the reason why DAZN is showing this. We're going to talk about Top Rank in a little bit as well, guys. No, I guess we're going to talk about that now. Joe, is Top Rank officially done? No, from what I've been told. And this, I had a feeling this was going to happen. Now, this is a lesson to you guys. What do we always talk about on this show? That we work in a symbiont business where we all work together. And one promoter's success is everyone's success because it's boxing. And so the brass at ESPN, they're like, wait a minute. We were told that Shakur versus Tio, two guys that we nurtured and cultivated, scored a big hit in front of a sold-out arena in Madison Square Garden and made millions of dollars. Why weren't we showing this? Why wasn't this on ESPN pay-per-view? So, from what I've been told, Top Rank is currently in negotiations with ESPN to sign an additional deal because they like the idea of Xander Zayas, Emiliano Vargas, Emmanuel Navarrete, all these badasses that they still have. Shushu Carrington, the businessman, Keyshawn Davis. They're like, you know what? There's no reason why we can't cash in on these guys. We've spent so much money nurturing their careers. We should be reaping the benefits of it. So they are in the process, from what I've been told, of signing a new deal. I don't know how long it's going to be, but they're in the process of signing a new deal with Top Rank. So no, Top Rank is not done yet. They still have the horses in their stable. I think they're partly gone. This is why they're working with Al Heyman and Amazon Prime. And look, from what I've been told, Turkey Al Sheikh and Sella are not going to purchase this event like they did Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. It's going to be PBC as the lead promoter on Amazon Prime. David Benavidez, and I'm talking about May 2nd, David Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez. So yeah, look, and GBP knows that, look, your ability to reach a massive audience in the American market is hindered by DAZN. It's hindered. Like, trust me, Teofimo Lopez, as much fire as that event caught during Fight Week, it would have been the audience would have been much better and the money would have been much better had it been on ESPN pay-per-view. But it was a success in spite of DAZN, not because of it. In spite of DAZN, it scored a massive hit. And so ESPN is at the table once again. Like I said, guys, one promoter's success is every promoter's success in this business. Because it's boxing. If boxing is trending, win-win for everybody, guys, even at the club level. That should be a lesson to all of you. Yes, I agree. And I think Bruce or Brad should take over. Todd DeBuff, yeah, he needs to go. Honestly, people are going to realize that we all should hope, and I don't understand these fans that, I don't like super boxing. Dude, I don't hear any fighters complaining. In fact, they're like, hey, I'm getting opportunities when I've been waiting around for my promotional company to get me a date. I'm getting opportunities and I'm getting paid. So once again, win-win, guys, for boxing. We should hope for their success at Paramount. And I love the idea that they're keeping their fighters busy. And I love the idea that, hey, they are a puppet promoter for Turkey Al Sheikh. Guys, say what you want, but Turkey Al Sheikh, if he's going to be in this for the long haul, he is very good for boxing because we've been getting the fights. So what's not to love about Zuffa? Well, you already know why that's happening, brother. Because the verdict's still out on Tyson Fury coming back. They weren't sure if it was going to sell. So what did they do? They paid Conor Benn $15 million for one fight only. Why? Because they want this to be a sellout and they want this to be a big hit in the UK. Now, look, as big as a star as Tyson Fury is, Makhmudov, come on. We all know how this is going to end. It's going to be glorified sparring, with Tyson Fury just peppering him from start to finish in a one-sided contest. That's it. But that's the only reason why. And look, anyone who's shitting on Ben versus Regis, they need to get a clue. I like this matchup because Conor Benn, he's going to find out within the first round that Regis Prograis is a pocket counterpuncher by trade. Every time Ben gets into range and lets his hands go, Regis is going to have something for him. This is a great style matchup, guys. So don't listen to the fans who are shitting all over. Man, I can't believe Conor Benn turned down a title opportunity with Rolly Romero for this. For $15 million in a ridiculous style matchup for the fans. And in the co-main event of one of the biggest events of the year, in a sold-out arena or stadium in Tottenham Hotspur. Really? You think a fight with Rolly Romero was going to be bigger than this? Chingao. then remind me not to hire you as my business manager. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a much tougher fight for Conor Benn. And who are the beneficiaries? We are, the fans. This is a great fight, guys. 2-division world champion Regis Prograis coming off of a very impressive victory against a motivated Jojo Diaz. Come on. And Z Pacino, boy, you've got the beat. This fight is going to be straight fire tomorrow night. I love it, guys. And then we also have the return of Emiliano Vargas, the only Vargas who can fight. Man, he is the truth, guys. And he's going to be fighting a badass in Quintana. I love it. I love this. And look, he's fighting for the NABF. Now, back in the day, if you're as old as I am, you recognize that it actually meant something, right? The next step is competing for a major world title when you get the North American title. And look, it's not going to be easy. Quintana can fight and he can box. He's got some skills. He's a badass Argentine. No, he doesn't have a ton of crack in his shot, but he can fight. And he's gonna have some resistance. We're gonna see how good Emiliano Vargas is. And if he makes light work of Quintana in the co-main event, look out. Look out, guys. Once again, this is one of the reasons why Top Rank is currently negotiating with ESPN, because they like the horses currently in the stable. And why wouldn't they? ESPN help cultivate them. Come on. That's what a successful event does, though. Once again, the ESPN brass would not be interested if they didn't see the success of Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Oh, no. Emiliano Vargas is going to be at 40. He's going to be at 40. I mean, what did the weigh-in say, guys? What did the weigh-in say? This is going to be at 140, guys. Emiliano Vargas versus Agustin Quintana. Right? As far as I know, it's going to be for the NABF super lightweight title, which is 140 pounds. So, yeah, it's at 40. But, guys, yeah, look, I like Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis. And, look, you're going to see on fight night, you're going to see on April 11th that it's going to play out in a barn burner. Yeah, guys, look, and I'm glad you brought that up, Outlaw, because this is a misunderstanding that is going to be rectified, and I can't believe Ring Magazine. This is what I can't stand about journalists who think that they're actually doing something good for the health of the sport. And it's so stupid. And they publicize these lawsuits. Guys, there are 3 things that you can count on in life: death, taxes, and lawsuits in boxing. Guys, lawsuits drop every single week within the business. And guess what? Everyone still finds a way to work together. Guys, this is nothing. Once again, this is for Zuffa. This is for Zuffa because apparently ratings haven't been that good for Zuffa boxing. Not as good as Baldy would hope, or like Golden Boy refers to as Uncle Fester. And I will say this about Oscar De La Hoya: as entertaining as his Clapback Thursdays are, he needs to shut the hell up. Just shut up about the business. Keep it to yourself, because we're all on the same team. We're all in this business together. This is a symbiont industry. Shut up and play nice with the other kids in the sandbox. Here to there. Good to see you, my friend. Cheers, Joseph. Indeed, ESPN finally we're getting some sense. Yes, thank you. Can't be the leader in sports with no boxing, and Top Rank needs to be on TV. Amen, brother. Thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. Outlaw says, I'm expecting more of these promoters to start to get no. They will not. If they're not stupid, they won't. Because if you're honest with yourself, Turkey Al Sheikh and Riyadh season is the only reason why we've been getting these fights as frequently as we've been getting them. Yes, Golden Boy puts on some great cards, so does PBC. But on a regular, consistent basis, we've been getting the fights. And that has everything to do with Turkey Al Sheikh's involvement. Once again, we're in this business together. And Zuffa, it's only a matter of time before they realize it and start working with the other promoters. Because they remind me of Al Heyman and PBC before they learned that very hard lesson. This is a symbiont business, and they're not the bosses. The fans are the real bosses of boxing. You guys are. You guys always have been. That's the way it's always going to be. That's the way it always has been. The fans are the real bosses of boxing. That's it. Case closed. That's it, guys. So if the other promoters have any sense, they will play nice with Turkey Al Sheikh and understand that this is a one-off. That they wanted to cash in on Tyson Fury's popularity on Netflix. And let's be honest, if I'm Canelo Alvarez and Turkey Al Sheikh right now, I am pissed to high heaven. I am pissed at Floyd Mayweather Jr. because he just took their Mexican Independence Weekend fight date that was designated for Canelo in September. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You guys are putting on a free show on Netflix, and we're going to be charging pay-per-view during the day? You assholes. So is there any idea in who you think Canelo Alvarez is going to fight? I'll tell you, I think he's going to fight. I think he's going to fight the winner of, once again, and it hasn't been announced yet. I don't think it has, but it's signed, guys. And this is news to you guys. Jermall Charlo is going to be fighting for the WBA super middleweight crown that belongs to Armando Resendez. That was just signed this week. I know this to be true. In my opinion, Canelo has it circled on his calendar. He is going to be looking at that, champing at the bit. Here to there says, Joseph, what's interesting to discuss is how MMA is starting to suffer a bit from a talent drain as the UFC killed off most of the regional scene that fed him. This is what happens when you don't cultivate attractions. That you're just interested in cultivating the brand. This is what happens. This business, combat sports, has always thrived off of its big names, right? This is what pisses me off about Netflix. They have the opportunity to be the savior of boxing in the American market. But from what I've been told, they're not interested in anyone in cultivating stars. They're interested in rehashing the retreads, the old names that are recognizable by mainstream and casual fans. That's it. And it's such a damn shame. They need to hire someone who has a clue, because this fight is going to be worse than watching paint dry. It's going to be absolutely terrible. And it's going to steal the thunder of the heralded return of boxing's biggest star, Canelo Alvarez. When is that fight going to be? So when is the return of Canelo Alvarez? I was told it was on the same day. Canelo and Bealey, in my opinion, Canelo needs to fight the winner of Resendez versus Charlo. He doesn't want that kind of smoke in his first fight back, in my opinion. Yeah, they need to hire someone who actually knows. They need to hire someone like Brad Goodman or Bruce Trampler or, dare I say, even Bella. Hey, good to see you too, Peter. God bless you, my friend. I'm only getting on here for an additional 30 minutes because I have to start getting ready. I'm going to be DJing tonight at Brandy's Ice House, guys. I really enjoy my DJ gig. I enjoy spreading the gospel, and I enjoy hosting karaoke, and I enjoy singing about 15 songs a night. That's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy mixing songs, mixing records. It's a lot of fun. So if you're in the San Antonio area, come by and see me on the corner of Grissom and Timber Path in San Antonio, Texas. Look, let's go back to this. Canelo versus Mbili. I think Canelo, a prime Canelo, would whoop this guy's ass. But this version of Canelo, I'm not sure. In my opinion. Because I think Jermall Charlo is going to beat Armando Resendez. He's going to get that world title. And I think you're going to see the long-awaited Canelo versus Charlo in September. I think that's what's going to happen. And Canelo can beat this version of Jermall Charlo. I don't know if he can beat this version of Christian Mbili, who has, man, he has high-octane engine, and he can go from start to finish. He knows no pause from the opening bell to the final one. And I don't know if Canelo is up for that assignment right now. I think we need to see how Canelo looks after his hand surgery. Look, I'll say he's got some balls if he picks on Mbili. And he's got enough defensive holes where the old Canelo would have shredded him like tissue paper, exposing everything. But yeah, Mbili has one of the best gas tanks in boxing. And he's got one of the best chins in boxing. He's going to come forward, and he's not going to stop. No. And I'll tell you why, Michael. Thank you for being here, my friend. HBO is out. And here's why. It has everything to do with money. Most people think it was Peter Nelson that was the demise of boxing at HBO, but it wasn't. It was the amount of money. And I'll tell you, if you want to blame something, blame the deceased legend, Andre the Giant, because they spent a fraction of what they spend on a regular episode of World Championship Boxing on HBO. They spent a fraction making this documentary with Andre the Giant. And they attracted so many more new subscribers and so many more viewers to that product. And so after that, they made the decision to walk away from boxing for good, saying that it's just not cost effective. Now, if someone emerges as the next big star in the American market, they might be interested to revisit it because then it might be cost effective. But as it stands right now, they made that decision almost 10 years ago. Has it been 7, 8 years now? That, yeah, it just wasn't cost effective. And you have Andre the Giant to thank for it, not anyone else. There it is. Look, man, let's talk about this weekend's events. Once again, man, I absolutely love Emmanuel Navarrete versus Eduardo Sugar Nunez. This is a great fight. This is a barn burner, guys, and it's going to be all action from start to finish. And it's going to be when all is said and done, it's going to be our leading candidate for fight of the year so far. And we've already seen some great ones. No, it's not going to be Shakur. No, it's not going to be Ryan Garcia. Those were two one-sided mismatches. Yeah. And then you've got Tamir Smalls versus, well, the always formidable gatekeeper, Abel Ramos. He can punch. Look out. Tamir Smalls is going to be tested. This is a great fight card, guys. And we're going to find out. Emiliano Vargas, I expect him to win a decision, maybe stopping this guy late to win the North American, the NABF, right? The next step is getting a world title shot. He's ready. He is wise beyond his years, and he is the truth, Emiliano Vargas. I'm really high on this kid. Well, you already know what I think. I've stated this many times. Who do I have? Look, Daisy, if Emmanuel Navarrete is still Emmanuel Navarrete and still has that beard, he's going to give Sugar Nunez a lot of problems. But that's all contingent on whether or not he can take his best shot. Because you can't prepare for Emmanuel Navarrete. He's a strange fighter. And he will hit you in odd angles with amazing volume. And he has those heavy hands where all he has to do is touch you on a regular basis and you're going to balloon up your face. He is... he's such an anomaly. So Sugar Nunez, yeah, he looks the part right now, but he's never been in the ring with Vaquero. So honestly, it all depends on what version of Navarrete we get. If it's still Navarrete, then I like Navarrete. If he doesn't have that same beard and shows signs of being shop-worn, then I like Sugar Nunez by possible late round stoppage. Oh, you know what? It's different. Where Sugar Nunez is more of a one-hitter quitter guy. He's got that explosive power. Navarrete, oh man, Navarrete is he's got the heavier hands and he knows it. He doesn't have to load up on anything. He can just touch you with those heavy hands, and over 5, 6, 7 rounds, yeah, it starts to take its toll. Yeah, this is why this fight is so enticing. Both guys let their hands go, and both guys are vulnerable for the hard counter. I love this fight, guys. You can't go wrong with this. And once again, and it's funny on BoxRec when you look it up, it lists matchmaker as Kevin Rooney. Shit. Come on, guys. This has Brad Goodman written all over it. This is a great fight, guys. And so enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your subscription with DAZN. Once again, I hope everyone is subscribed to DAZN and don't try to steal it for free, because they need all the subscription numbers they can get. The fighters need all the subscription numbers they can get. And that's the only reason why we keep on getting these fights. Look, I'll say this, without Turki Al-Sheikh's involvement, boxing in the American market is reduced to club level and regional level outings at best. So say what you want about Turki Al-Sheikh, but you better learn to love it. DAZN, the home of boxing in the American market, it sure is. And I hope that changes very soon. Because we need more mainstream eyeballs on it. And I'll say this, guys. I can't say enough how much I hate Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao. No one wants to see this. No one wants to see this. Like, dude, the first fight was 5 years too late. Now they want to give us a retread, the rematch. You think it's going to be more exciting than the first fight? Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. Guys, we don't need this crap. We need some new blood. We need some fresh faces. That's what the sport needs, not these damn retreads. No one wants to see this. And unfortunately, it's going to have a massive audience. And you're going to hear guys who don't talk about boxing talking about this during fight week. Oh, jeez. Please explain, Daisy. I don't understand that. Marquez was the one. I don't know what that means. Look, like I said, Navarrete, he doesn't load up on any one punch, but he's got heavy hands. All he has to do is just touch you on a consistent basis, and you see it. Your face starts to mark up. And yeah, it's like he's like a super featherweight version of Vitaly Klitschko. Very unorthodox, but very effective. And he doesn't load up on any one shot because he doesn't have to. He just touches you at weird angles. He just touches you with those heavy hands, and you start to feel it after 5, 6, 7 rounds. That's what makes Navarrete so special. And I love the guy. He's so good for boxing. The drunken fist. I love it. Guys, I love boxing. There's so much to talk about. And what did we say, guys? What did we say about Alexander Usyk, that he was eventually going to go to Turkey al-Sheikh, back to Turkey al-Sheikh? When he found out that his market value wasn't nearly as high as he thought it was, or as he was hoping it would be, testing out the free agency market, walking away from Turkey al-Sheikh. Well, guess who's back? Oh, dude, and you can't blame him, guys. It's just announced May 23rd in Giza, Egypt. Wow. Yes, the same Egypt in the book of Genesis and Exodus. Yeah, that's right, Eric. He was going to go crawling back to Turkey al-Sheikh, and you can't blame him. He's like, yeah, so it's going to be live at the pyramids of Giza. Usyk versus Rico. And anyone who says they're not interested in this fight, yeah, they're damn liars. And I'm calling out all the people who are posting, oh, I'm not the slightest bit interested in this fight. Yeah, that's why you're posting about it. Guys, this is an all-time great and one of the best easily the best heavyweight of this era, Alexander Usyk. I don't think he's going to ride off here to there. Here to there says Usyk with a circus fight. Let him get his easy payday and ride off. We have Dubois versus Yardley coming up at least. We have a lot more than that, brother. March 28th, don't forget. It's the return of Moses Italma versus Jermaine Franklin. I love that fight. No, he doesn't have the power to pull off the massive upset and stop the Italma Express. But he does have the skills to make him think and make him go some rounds. Usyk is going to hang around, and I hate to say this, he's going to fight Fury a third time. He's going to fight Fury a third time. That's the only fight that generates the kind of dollars that he's looking for. Same with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, look, I would love to see Tyson Fury fight the winner of Dubois versus Wardley in May. I would love to see that fight. But we'll have to see what Tyson Fury looks like against Makhmudov, right? But look, we speak like Oscar likes to say, we speak the facts on this show, and we told you what was going to happen with Usyk, that he was going to go running back to Turkey Al-Sheikh and Sella. Iceman, my brother in Christ, good to see you. It was moved to March 28th. It was supposed to have already happened, but because of a hand injury, it got moved to March 28th. We're going to see it still. That's right. That's right. Honestly, Frank Warren is the best in the business. And anyone who looks at that publicized lawsuit, bunch of idiots publicizing that stuff. It should have never seen the light of day. Irreparable damage. Get out of here, guys. This is boxing. The fans are the real bosses. So you mean to tell me Turkey Al-Sheikh is not going to be interested in working with Frank Warren any further, even though he has pretty much a lock on the future of the heavyweight division? Yeah, okay. Usyk's not a dummy with his money. And look, the only reason why he's taking this fight is he wants to stay busy. He wants to make a little green. And he deserves a tune-up, a stay busy fight. He deserves it. You cannot, in this business, you cannot be fighting Goliath after Goliath after Goliath and expect to stay healthy. You have to be allowed, given a pass from the fans, to fight stay busy fights. Come on, guys. Like, fans have become unreasonable in the American market. They're a bunch of damn fools. Look, I'll tell you who's not going to win. Poor Virgil Ortiz. In fact, he needs to fire his manager, Rick Mirrigan. This guy's a troublemaker and an idiot. Like, why does everyone have such a problem with Oscar? Oscar, for the last 20 years, has been the face of Mexican boxing in the American market. He did a great job nurturing and cultivating the careers of Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, and now Virgil Ortiz, and everyone wants to shit on him. Why? Why? Look at Ryan's career now. Ryan, in spite of himself, is sitting pretty as a champion for the very first time in the welterweight division. And everyone is singing his praises now. Do you think that just happened by accident? Do you think Ryan's people could have thought of this on their own? No, it's Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez putting their man in a position to succeed once again. And Ryan finally got the memo. Hey, yeah, this is my last chance. I'd better take this seriously. And say what you want about Canelo's gripes with Oscar, but Canelo, look at the job Don Chargan and Eric Gomez, Roberto Diaz, look at the job all of them did cultivating his career, navigating it through creative matchmaking, keeping him at that Canelo weight of 155 for all those years because he wasn't ready for middleweight and junior or at super middleweight. They were like, look, the only reason why we allowed you to fight that Mayweather fight, because we knew you were going to lose, is so we would learn what your deficiencies are. And they found out in a very resounding manner that his deficiencies were cutting off the ring and closing the distance. And so they kept him at 55 to work on that, add that new wrinkle to you. And how long did it take? It took years. Note to Mario Barrios. You don't pick up that and add that new wrinkle or add that skill set in one camp. Takes years, son. And so what do you think Eddie Hearn could have done that? What Golden Boy did for Canelo? Do you think he could have done that? Hell no. The only other promoter that could have done that was Brad Goodman and Bruce Traveler. That's it. And so why does Golden Boy get so much grief? Look at everything that Golden Boy has been through with Virgil Ortiz. Standing by their man as he went through rhabdomyolysis. Standing by him. Putting up money for fights that never came to fruition because of his health. And now he's being convinced by his dumbass manager that they're the bad guys? They're hindering his career? Make it make sense, guys. And Ryan Garcia, you screw the pooch in front of everyone in a pay-per-view audience. And you get a world title opportunity and you win the very next fight? You should be saying thank you, Oscar. And he did publicly, finally. So you know what, man? It's time. Start putting some damn respect by Eric Gomez and Oscar De La Hoya's name. Because after Al Heyman and what's his face, the Swede who left them for bankrupt, left them for dead. What's his name? I forget his name. Even after all of that, they rebuilt their entire stable based on one attraction, Canelo. And then what happened when Canelo left them for dead? Walked away from DAZN and signed with Eddie Hearn. What happened? They rebuilt their stable once again. Guys, that takes talent, guys. Yes, Richard Schaefer. Thank you, brother. That takes talent, guys, and that takes knowledge. Something that a lot of promoters don't have. They rolled up their sleeves and they've redefined themselves time and time again when other promoters leave them for dead. You cannot count out, and you got to tip your do-rag to Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez. They have done a fantastic job, not just surviving, but creating attractions in the American market. Give me another promoter who's been consistently, without the help of HBO and Showtime, consistently creating attractions in the American market. So I don't care what anyone says about Golden Boy. They are survivors, and they are the best in the business at this time. And I love Oscar, and I love Eric. And they say what you want about them, but they are very good, not only for the fighters, but for the fans. Consistently delivering great fight cards and a willingness to work with everyone. That's hilarious, Eric, but that's ridiculous. Truth be known, Bob Arum had more of a hand in helping create Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. If you notice, in all of Golden Boy's first events, it was in a collaborative effort with Top Rank Promotions, Top Rank Inc. That's it. It's the other way around. Oscar helped create Money May. Mayweather was fighting for peanuts. How well did that Zab Judah pay-per-view do? How well did that Arturo Gatti pay-per-view do? How well did that Baltimore pay-per-view do? Come on, guys. It's the other way around. Without Oscar, there is no Money Mayweather. And we're not seeing this damn rematch with Manny Pacquiao. Oh, guys, it's funny how people forget. Like to play history revisionist. Luckily, though, I'm in this business. I can tell you exactly what happened. Guys, it's amazing. I still love boxing after all these years, even the business of it. And guys, there's a lot to be excited about this year in boxing. And I, for one, am happy to be witnessing all of it. I love it. And I'm happy to be in this business. I love it. So, guys, get your popcorn ready. It's going down this Saturday night. It's going to be on the zone. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Eduardo Sugar Nunez. It's going to be lights out, guys. And it's for the IBF and WBO Super Featherweight Championship. A unification deserving of unification. This is going to be outstanding, guys. And let's just talk about Eddie Hearn, right? Crying. I saw this earlier. Let's talk about this, guys. This is hilarious. And once again, you can't make this shit up. Right? Hold on. Let's see. Let's hope I find it. I can't find it right now, guys, but Eddie Hearn. Oh, Conor Benn is being a meanie. Eddie Hearn blaming Dana White. Oh, he's just poaching other promoters' talent. He doesn't have the matchmakers to create his own attractions. Kind of sounds like you're describing yourself in the American market, you buffoon. What did you do with Canelo? What did you do with Golovkin? What did you do with Boo Boo Andrade? What did you do with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? What did you do in the American market? You did the same damn thing. So what you give is what you get, son. Don't be crying and trying to get sympathy from everyone else. This is the game. This is the business. You poach so many other fighters from every other promoter, and now you want to cry that Conor Benn is actually making money with Zuffa in a one-fight deal? Oh, but I stood by him during the entire beta testing mess. I stood by him throughout Yeah. That's what Golden Boy was saying when you poached him to line your own pockets. You were saying the same damn thing. And guys, if you want to know the money regarding, I remember Daisy brought this up, and I'm finally going to answer. It's finally coming back to me. Mario Vargas made $5 million, a career high payday, and Ryan Garcia made 10. That's it, guys. 15 million, and Regis Prograis, a former 2-division world champion, who is a pocket counterpuncher. Guys, you're going to see it. You're going to see that this matchup is going to be very tough indeed for Conor Benn. It's not going to be as easy as fans think. Regis, this is a perfect style matchup for Regis at 47. And you're going to see the best version of both men. And I can't wait, and the fans are going to be the beneficiaries. Like I said, guys, there's a lot to love about boxing. But Eddie Hearn, BOOHOO. What you give is what you get. And then you want people to have sympathy for your stupid ass. Come on. You can't think everyone's that stupid, son. Well, look, I stood by him throughout all of this process, and he wants to abandon me. Yeah. Guess what? Golden Boy stood by Canelo throughout everything. And he abandoned them for you, and you were right there to poach him. Right there being the evil snake in the Garden of Eden. What you give is what you get. BOOHOO, guys. This is going to be an amazing co-main event for the return of Tyson Fury on April 11th, and I can't wait. This is a great event, and one of the few great events that we're going to see on Netflix, because otherwise we're getting trash. Shit, Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, the geriatric fight for the geriatric title. Come on. Getting in the way of the return of Canelo Alvarez. Come on. They can kiss my ass. Guys, get up for this one. This is going to be a great event. And you're going to see boxing in all of its splendor on the biggest stage. And I love it. I love it, guys. Embrace it. Get your popcorn ready because it's going down. I love it, guys. Yes, there's a lot to love about boxing right now. Unfortunately, my time is up. I have to start getting ready for work. I'm going to be DJing tonight. It's Friday night, guys. And if you're in San Antonio, come by and see me. Brandy's Ice House. It's going to be outstanding. I start at 9. And I don't end until 2. Wow. That's a long shift, guys. That's a 5-hour shift of DJing and hosting karaoke. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the great fans of boxing that you guys are. I love all of you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And don't forget, tune in Saturday night. Subscribe to DAZN. This fight is worth it. It's going to be amazing. God bless all of you. And we'll try to be back on Sunday to do a recap of everything. Have a great weekend, everybody.
W.A.W. presents Big Time Boxing USA on WBO Radio.